Hey guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Screen.
These are the top 10 celebrities who refuse to work together.
At number 10, we have Taylor Swift and Scooter Braun. So Taylor and Scooter used to work together for quite some time, but that was until 2018 when she left Big Machine Records and signed with another large music label. This confused many fans because everyone was under the impression that Taylor and Scooter's relationship was just fine, especially since he was there for her ever-growing success. It turns out that Scooter and Big Machine tried to prevent Taylor from performing her other classics and re-record them in the future, as she stated in a lengthy Tumblr post to her fans. Big Machine later came out with a statement claiming that Taylor was making up a narrative and told fans to stop coming for them. They insisted that they never told Taylor or her team that she wasn't allowed to do whatever she wanted, but Taylor's reps showed exactly what they were told, which clearly stated Taylor's limits, which they are not legally allowed to do. They even found out that they owed Taylor $8 million in unpaid royalties. It got worse when Scooter sold her masters for $300 million, a decision Taylor was not made aware of. So it's safe to say that these two will never work together ever again.
Number 9. Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson. Remember, y'all, family. That's it. That's the intro. Dwayne and Vin first met on the set of the 5th Fast and Furious movie, Fast 5. They're very creative with the titles, these guys. This was Vin Diesel's 5th movie, and while it was Dwayne's first, not just in the franchise, but in the acting world in general. At first, everything seemed to be okay with these guys on set. Fast 5 made a lot of money, and they asked Dwayne Johnson to return for 6 and 7. However, something changed in 2016. In a now deleted post, Dwayne called one of his fellow Fast 7 co-stars a candied bum bum. Okay, he didn't say bum bum, but we can't swear on the internet, so I must speak like a toddler. He actually said a word that rhymes with grass. Rumors began to fly that he was more than likely referencing Vin Diesel. Rumors proven only a week after the post was made. Following the premiere of Fate of the Furious, Johnson posted to Instagram thanking all of his fellow cast members by name, but he left Vin Diesel out. It was later confirmed by Fast and Furious co-star Michelle Rodriguez that there was a massive amount of tension on set of the film. They were bros at first, but as time went on and the franchise evolved, so did their egos. They fought constantly over who should receive more screen time, who was the real lead of the franchise, and, toxic masculinity and all that. To keep both actors happy, Johnson was given a spin-off film in which he co-starred as the lead alongside Jason Statham, and Vin Diesel was left right where he belongs, with his family.
Next up, we have Jennifer Lopez and Mariah Carey. So what most people remember this little feud of theirs is Mariah going, "I don't know her," when asked about Jennifer Lopez. The two stars were going head to head as one of the pop princesses back in the late 90s to early 2000s, so this little jab definitely became a sort of pop culture moment. However, this drama goes beyond some simple industry rivalry and has nothing to do with J-Lo at all, really. It mostly started when Mariah married Tommy Mottola, who used to own Sony Music Entertainment. Mariah recalled that marriage as a bad one, as she felt controlled by him throughout their 5 years together. When she finally left him in 1998, apparently he was not happy and wanted to sabotage her career. To do so, he used J-Lo, who was signed with Sony Music at the time. Mariah wanted to use a specific music sample for her upcoming song, and he caught wind of this idea and got J-Lo to use the exact same sample for her new song. It was a complete setup to tarnish Mariah's career. But funnily enough, both songs did very well on the charts.
Number 7. Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is known for many things. He's got his toes dipped into the world of adult beverages, wireless cell phone coverage, and he's even a soccer coach, or football for our friends in the UK. One of his most iconic roles as an actor is of course the Merc with the Mouth, Mr. Deadpool himself. However, in 2008, Ryan was a part of a different Marvel movie. As some may know, the original Marvel movie that started this whole live-action comics thing was the Blade trilogy, starring Wesley Snipes as the titular vampire hunter. Now, by the time the third film of the franchise rolled around, Wesley Snipes was just done with working on set. He hated the way the franchise was turning out, and all of his creative suggestions were just quickly shut down. His main problem was the fact that Blade Trinity was written as a straight-up comedy action movie. The previous entries were just dark action movies filled with gore and some pretty stellar fight sequences. So when Van Wilder was cast to be his co-star, he gave up. He famously refused to film several several scenes unless he was allowed to keep his shades on. Apparently he was micro-napping during scenes because he just didn't care anymore. Ryan played a big part in his difficulty enjoying the shoot. Apparently Reynolds made it his mission to make Wesley Snipes snap, and he would constantly do bits, push things too far. You know, just the general Ryan Reynolds chaos that we're used to at this point. At the end of the day, Blade Trinity ended up burying the franchise, and Wesley has refused to ever allow Ryan on set with him ever again.
Next up, we have Rina Sawayama and Matty Healy. So these two used to be on good terms actually. After the release of her single Shut the F Up in 2019, she said in an interview that Matty contacted her with nothing but praise and support for her. She even reciprocated the respect and admiration she had for him. However, things took a turn this year following Matty's participation in a recent podcast episode. He and the other podcast hosts were making fun of Ice Spice and using some outdated terms and racially discriminating comments about her. He even encouraged one of the hosts to mock Asian accents, especially a Japanese one, which in this current climate is very unwise. Considering that Rina is Japanese, she did not appreciate this at all. Recently, Rina performed Shut the F Up clearly in response to Matty. Before the song started, she told fans, "This goes out to the white man that mocks Asian people on a podcast. He also owns my masters. I've had enough."
Number 5. James Franco and Seth Rogen. Despite the many collaborations between these two over the years, like The Interview and Pineapple Express, Seth Rogen has gone on record and refuses to work with James Franco on any future projects. You see, James has placed himself in a little bubble of public exile for using his powers for evil. The man behind some iconic characters like Tommy Wiseau and the Disaster Artist, or Harry Osborn and Spider-Man, with just so many more. We could literally make a list of just cool things he's done. Apparently though, James has a problem keeping his hands to himself, and he's not a great guy, especially when it comes to his acting students. In 2018, 5 female students at his Studio 4 acting school in North Hollywood told the Los Angeles Times that Franco had parlayed his position to exploit them physically. 2 of those women sued, and Franco was forced to settle outside of court, forking over $2.23 million. At the time, he was writing, acting, and directing a show for HBO called The Deuce, which was allowed to stay on and finish because it was being canceled anyway. Fans called for James to be blacklisted from the world of Hollywood, and Seth Rogen told the Times of London that the scandal had changed their relationship and he has not spoken to James since the news first broke.
Next, at number 4, we have Kesha and Dr. Luke. According to an article, Kesha sued her former music producer, Dr. Luke, for infliction of emotional distress, intimate-based hate crimes, and employment discrimination. Throughout their decade-long partnership together prior to this, she admitted that he physically and emotionally harmed her. The producer denied all of her claims and even filed a countersuit against her for defamation. This was a years-long legal battle, and things were not looking good for the singer, as her request for a preliminary injunction was denied by the court, and her counterclaims were dismissed. It was found out that Kesha wrote at least 70 songs for her past album Warrior, but Dr. Luke scrapped all of them. She had very little creative freedom for her music, and in 2013, there was even a petition going around asking that Kesha leave the label. But just last month, she released a statement telling fans that they finally reached a settlement. She didn't disclose any further details, but it's clear she wants to leave it in the past and move forward with her music and her life.
Number 3. Bill Murray and Lucy Liu. Does anybody else just get the most hardcore Charlie's Angel flashbacks when they see these two together? Sony's first foray into the world of Charlie's Angels was a massive success when it released, starring Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu as the titular angels. The movie was filled with action, a little bit of comedy, and one of the strangest performances ever delivered by Crispin Glover. Like, my god, that guy needs help. One interesting addition to the cast was the inclusion of Ghostbusters alumni Bill Murray as the man behind the mic, Bosley. Apparently the set was anything but a comedy after Bill found out a scene was rewritten without his knowledge. In an interview with the news outlet Deadline, Lucy Liu spoke up about her time on set and the situation surrounding Bill's outburst. Apparently Bill was away for a family event when a scene needed to be reshot for the film. Instead of using a stand-in, it was decided that the scene could be filmed without Murray's character being involved. So the scene went on without him. And when he returned to find that the change was made while he was gone, he got furious. He reportedly shouted at half of of the crew, including Lucy herself. At first she wasn't sure why he was aiming his comments at her. She didn't write the scene, she wasn't the director, like why was it her fault? She asked if Bill was talking to her, which apparently sent him into a full-blown meltdown. She decided to speak out on Bill's behavior on set, and he was ultimately written out of the sequel. Lucy is proud for speaking her mind despite being a relatively unknown actor at the time, and is glad that Bill's career seems to have suffered for it, because Lucy was just the first of many celebrities to comment on his behavior, but let's save that for another time.
Next up at number 2, we have Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter. So before the Selena and Healy drama, there was the beef between Olivia and Sabrina. It was mostly created by mere fan speculation alone, but hey, the internet is the internet. After Olivia released her single Driver's License, it helped catapult her into the mainstream. Along with this newly found fame, it came with drama she didn't ask for. Fans were convinced the song was about Sabrina and Joshua Bassett, Olivia's former co-star and rumored ex. While it was never confirmed, the hate was very much apparent towards Sabrina, where she responded with some tasteful music of her own. Her song, Because I Liked a Boy, pretty much summarized the mistreatment she faced from bashers, and it became a major hit. While the drama has definitely died down, thank God, fans are eager to see the two collaborate in some way. At the Met Gala last year, it was believed there was a shot of the two greeting each other civilly, but not much has come out besides that. But never say never, because who knows what could happen down the road.
And at number 1, Robert Downey Jr. and Terrance Howard. Any fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe certainly recognize Terrance Howard as the man who originally played Tony Stark's best friend slash sidekick, Colonel James Rhodes. He was fired by Marvel Studios after only one film due to the difficult time that the director Jon Favreau had with him on set. According to Jon, he was not only unhappy with Terrance's performance as a person, but he was forced to reshoot and cut several scenes last minute because he just did such a bad job as Rhodes. When the sequel rolled around, Marvel was forced to make a move. They had signed Terrance on for a 3-film deal, paying him $8 million per movie, but due to his antics on set, the studio offered him a measly $1 million instead. Now, where does Robert play into all this? Well, apparently the person that he was being difficult with on set was Iron Man. It turns out that Marvel actually didn't want RDJ to initially join the Marvel Universe due to his past troubles with substance control. However, Terrance vouched for him and actually took a $1 million pay decrease to get his buddy into the role, something that Marvel denies ever happening. RDJ has never commented on that aspect of anything, but he has said that it was completely out of his control when Terrance was let go. The studio didn't want to recast Downey because he was so good at his job. While they were able to patch things up and seem to be on good terms now, RDJ refuses to ever work with him again. Sometimes you gotta keep your work friends and your friend friends separate. Don't forget to give this video a like and comment below on who your favorite celebrity beef is.
As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.